Let them go. There comes a time in life when you must make a difficult decision, not for others, but for yourself. You see, we carry so many people along on our journey. We think we need them. We think we can't move forward without them. But sometimes holding on to the wrong people is the very reason we stay stuck. Let me tell you something today, you're not stuck because life is unfair or because opportunity hasn't knocked on your door. No, you're stuck because you're gripping onto something or someone you should have let go of a long time ago. When a season ends, you feel it in your gut. The conversations become strained. The connection feels like a burden. And yet we hold on. Why? Because we fear change more than we fear stagnation. But hear me clearly, staying in the wrong place with the wrong people will cost you far more than letting go ever will. It's not the letting go that breaks you, it's the holding on when you know deep down it's over. You see, not everyone who starts with you is meant to finish with you. Some people were only meant to teach you a lesson. Some situations were only meant to make you stronger, sharper, and wiser. But when their purpose in your life is fulfilled, you have to let them go. Otherwise, you risk dragging dead weight into a future that requires you to fly. And let me tell you, it's impossible to soar when your wings are tied down by people who no longer belong. Letting go doesn't mean you don't care. It doesn't mean you didn't love them. It doesn't mean they're bad people. Letting go simply means that you love yourself enough to prioritize your growth, your peace, and your destiny. The hardest truth you'll ever learn is that not everyone who walks into your life is meant to stay. Some are there to show you what you need to see, and once you've seen it, they must leave. That's not betrayal, that's life. Now, I know what you're thinking, but they've been with me through so much. How can I just let them go? And my answer is this: love them for what they've been, but don't let them stop you from becoming what you're meant to be. Letting go isn't about forgetting the memories or erasing the impact they had on your life. It's about understanding that your journey is bigger than their presence. If holding on is keeping you small, then you owe it to yourself to release them. Sometimes we hold on to people because we believe they're our safety net. We think, what if I fall? What if I fail? But let me ask you this, what if letting go is the only way to rise? What if the very thing you're holding on to is what's keeping you from stepping into the fullness of your potential? You'll never know how far you can go until you release what's been weighing you down. The truth is, letting go is a skill, one that requires courage, faith, and self-respect. Courage, because it means stepping into the unknown. Faith, because it means trusting that something better is waiting for you. And self-respect, because it means valuing yourself enough to walk away from what no longer serves you. Every great breakthrough in life begins with letting go of something that's holding you back. So ask yourself, what or who do I need to release today? When you let them go, it doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you failed. It doesn't mean you're ungrateful. Letting go is a sign of strength. It's a declaration to the universe that you trust your path, even when it's painful. And yes, it will be painful. Change always comes with discomfort. But pain is temporary, regret is forever. Don't let your fear of letting go chain you to a life that no longer fits you. You were made for more. Let me remind you, growth demands separation. Every great story of success, every legend who reached the top has a chapter where they had to walk away. It wasn't because they didn't value the relationships they left behind. It wasn't because they were ungrateful for the people who supported them at the start. No, they walked away because they understood one simple truth: you cannot reach your destiny by clinging to your history. Think of it like climbing a mountain. As you go higher, the air gets thinner, the path gets narrower, and the climb gets tougher. Not everyone can handle that altitude. Some people were only equipped to walk with you on flat ground. They don't have the endurance, the mindset, or the capacity to climb the heights you're destined for. That doesn't make them bad people, it just means they can't go where you're going. And it's your job to recognize that, not theirs. It's your responsibility to keep climbing, even if it means climbing alone for a while. Here's a question for you: do you want companionship or do you want fulfillment? Because sometimes you can't have both. The journey to becoming your best self often requires solitude. It's in those quiet moments when no one is around to cheer you on or hold your hand that you discover what you're truly made of. And when you reach the top, you'll realize that the loneliness was worth it because you didn't settle for staying where it was comfortable. You dared to let go. Letting go isn't just about people, it's also about ideas, habits, and identities. Some of you are holding on to a version of yourself that no longer exists. You're clinging to old beliefs, outdated dreams, and routines that are keeping you small. Let me tell you, the person you were 5 years ago isn't capable of living the life you're meant to have 5 years from now. To become the person you're destined to be, you must let go of who you've been. You must shed the old to embrace the new. Stop apologizing for outgrowing people. Stop shrinking yourself to fit into spaces you've already outgrown. Stop explaining your evolution to those who refuse to see it. Not everyone will understand your journey, and that's okay. Your purpose isn't tied to their approval. Your growth doesn't need their validation. You don't have to convince anyone to let you be free. Just go. And yes, it will hurt. You'll question your decision. You'll wonder if you made the right choice. But let me remind you, short-term pain is the price you pay for long-term peace. Think of all the times you held on to something or someone too long, hoping they would change, hoping the situation would improve. What did it cost you? Your peace, your joy, your progress. Now ask yourself, is holding on worth the price you've been paying? If the answer is no, then you know what you need to do. Let me share a secret: the universe rewards boldness. When you take a step of faith and let go of what no longer serves you, you create space for something better. That's how growth works. You can't hold on to the old and expect the new to arrive. You have to release your grip, even if it feels like you're losing everything. Trust me, you're not losing, you're making room for something greater. You see, life has a way of removing the people and things that don't align with your destiny. Sometimes the people you love will leave you. Sometimes the opportunities you thought were meant for you will slip through your fingers. And sometimes it feels like everything is falling apart. But in those moments, remember this: what's falling apart is clearing the way for what's coming together. Don't fight it. Don't resist it. Trust the process. When you let them go, you're not just freeing yourself, you're freeing them too. You're giving them the chance to find their own path, to grow in their own way. You're releasing them from the burden of being someone they're not. And in doing so, you're honoring both their journey and your own. That's not selfish, that's love. The truest kind of love is the one that sets both people free. So let them go, not with bitterness, but with gratitude. Be thankful for the lessons they taught you, the memories you shared, and the person they helped you become. But don't let nostalgia keep you stuck in a chapter that's already been written. Your story isn't finished yet, and the best chapters are still ahead of you. You have to trust that what's meant for you will never miss you. The people who are truly aligned with your purpose will find their way to you. And when they do, you won't have to force it. You won't have to beg them to stay. They'll be there because they're meant to be. But until then, you have to let go of what's no longer right for you. Let me say this as plainly as I can: you cannot receive what's meant for you with closed hands. Holding on to people, places, or things that have already served their purpose will only delay your blessings. And here's the truth: life is always moving forward, whether you're ready or not. So the choice isn't whether to move forward, the choice is whether to move forward with freedom or with chains. Let them go and watch what happens. Watch how the weight lifts off your shoulders. Watch how the fog clears from your mind. Watch how opportunities start to appear in places you never thought to look. Because here's the secret: when you make room, life fills it with something better. It may not come immediately, and it may not come in the way you expect. But trust me, it will come. Now, I know some of you are thinking, what if I let go and regret it? What if I realize I made a mistake? Let me tell you something: there's no such thing as a mistake when you're following your truth. Even if the path is painful, even if the road is lonely, you're still moving forward. And every step forward is a step toward becoming the person you were created to be. Regret doesn't come from letting go, it comes from staying in a place where you don't belong. When you let them go, you're not abandoning them, you're honoring yourself. There's a difference between selfishness and self-respect. Selfishness is when you take without giving. Self-respect is when you refuse to give so much of yourself that there's nothing left. Letting go is an act of self-respect. It's saying, I love myself enough to walk away from anything that threatens my peace, my purpose, or my potential. And let's talk about peace for a moment. Peace isn't just the absence of conflict. Peace is the presence of clarity. It's waking up in the morning and knowing that your life is aligned with your values, your vision, and your purpose. You can't buy peace. You can't fake peace. You can only create peace by making choices that honor your soul. And sometimes those choices require you to let go. Don't let guilt hold you back. Guilt is a liar. It will convince you that you owe people things you don't. It will tell you that walking away is wrong, even when it's the right thing to do. But let me remind you of something: you don't owe anyone your happiness. You don't owe anyone your dreams. And you certainly don't owe anyone your peace. What you owe is to yourself to be true, to be free, and to be unapologetically aligned with your purpose. When you let them go, you're not just saying goodbye to people, you're saying goodbye to the version of yourself that needed them. And that's the hardest part, isn't it? It's not just about losing them, it's about losing who you were with them. But let me tell you, that loss is necessary. Because every time you let go, you create space to become someone new. And that new version of you is always stronger, wiser, and more capable. You are not the same person you were a year ago, 5 years ago, or even yesterday. Life is constantly shaping you, molding you, refining you. And with every transformation, some things and some people must be left behind. That's not a failure, that's growth. It's a sign that you're evolving, that you're becoming more of who you were meant to be. So don't mourn the loss, celebrate the growth. Think of it like a tree in the fall. The leaves don't fall because the tree is dying. The leaves fall because the tree is preparing for a new season. It's shedding what it no longer needs so it can survive the winter and bloom again in the spring. You're no different. Letting go is your way of preparing for the next season of your life. And trust me, the spring will come. So let them go with grace. Let them go with gratitude. Let them go with love. But most importantly, let them go with confidence that you are doing what's best for you. Because at the end of the day, this is your journey. You are the one who has to live with the choices you make. You are the one who has to carry the weight of your decisions. So make the choice that sets you free. And here's the beautiful thing about letting go: it doesn't mean the end. Sometimes when you let go, life has a way of bringing things or people back to you in a better, healthier, and more meaningful way. But even if it doesn't, you'll be okay. Because the truth is, you don't need anyone or anything to complete you. You are already whole, already enough, and already capable of creating the life you deserve. The journey ahead won't be easy. There will be moments when you doubt yourself. There will be days when you feel like turning back. But remember this: you've made it this far for a reason. You've overcome challenges that should have broken you. You've survived losses that should have crushed you. You've let go before, and you can do it again. Because deep down, you know that every time you've let go, something better has come along. So today, I challenge you to take that step. To release what's holding you back. To let go of the fear, the guilt, the doubt, and the pain. To trust that your best days are still ahead of you. And to walk forward with your head high, your heart open, and your spirit free. Let them go not because you're giving up, but because you're giving yourself a chance to rise. Let them go not because you're weak, but because you're strong enough to move on. Let them go not because they don't matter, but because you matter too. And as you take that step, know this: you are not alone. You are walking into a future that was designed for you, a future that is waiting for you, a future that is brighter than anything you've left behind. Let them go and step boldly into the life you were meant to live. So here you are, standing at the crossroads of who you were and who you're meant to be. It's not an easy place to stand, but it's a powerful one. Because this is where transformation happens. This is where you decide whether you'll stay bound to the past or step boldly into your future. Let me remind you, the choice is yours. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean erasing the moments, the lessons, or the love. It means choosing yourself. It means understanding that your growth, your peace, and your purpose are worth the discomfort of release. And when you let go, you're not just walking away from something, you're walking toward everything you're destined to become. So as you move forward, carry this truth with you: you are not defined by what you leave behind. You are defined by the courage it takes to let it go and the strength it takes to keep moving. Trust the process. Trust the journey. Trust yourself. Let them go with love, with grace, and with gratitude. Let them go not because they were wrong, but because you are ready, ready to rise, ready to grow, and ready to step into the life that's waiting for you. The world needs the best version of you, and the best version of you cannot be tied to the past. So take a deep breath, let them go, and step boldly into your future. It's yours for the taking. Now go. Go and live the life you were meant to live. Go and be the person you were created to be. Go and don't look back, because what's ahead of you is far greater than anything you've left behind. Let him go. And then let yourself fly.